Welcome back to JJW Outdoors. Justin here. Today we're gonna fix up my axe for winter. Let's do it. So some things you're gonna need is obviously an axe that is pretty worn down. This one just has a bunch of paint lines on it. The guy who had it before didn't sharpen it the best, so we are gonna fix it up, make it nice and beautiful. Second, we are gonna need some sandpaper. Now this is up to you. I am using 60 grit and I'm using a 100 grit because that's all I have here at the house. So perfect. That's what we're gonna use. All we're gonna do is we're gonna strip off the outer layer and then we're gonna sand this down, probably with a file and that kind of things, for get the axe head back together. He did a really good job cleaning it up, which is awesome. I actually bought this at a flea market for $8, which was huge. But we're just gonna strip down the handle because it's pretty sharp in some areas, dense for sure, but you just got paint all over it. Then you're gonna need some linseed oil with a rag. All right, now you know what we need. Let's get started. All right, so as you can see, I got my axe. Most of this side has the paint on it. We're just gonna take our 80 grit, rip off a good section of it. There we go. Like I said, this is all old sandpaper. Now I'm just gonna start sanding it down. All I'm looking for is I want to get the dirt, grime off of it, and all this paint. So as you can see, it's dark there and it's a little lighter here. This is where I have sanded, and this side, as you can see, I have not touched at all. But yeah, flea market, awesome axe head. The only thing, like I said, oh, might not be able to see it. There we go. As you can see, Nick's here, super sharp. He used a grinder with it. I can tell because it's really sharp on this side because the bevel rolls over. But yeah, other than that, he did great with it. Dark here, light here because we're standing here, and you can see I got it for $8, which was a huge deal. Usually you can sell these things for like $30, $40, $50 online. So you can use an electric sander with this, but it's easy just to use your hand. I'm not going to get all the darkness off of it because I like the look and I'm hoping the linseed oil would make it pop. But yeah, we're just gonna keep sanding. You can definitely tell he's buried this head a few times in the ground. So I pretty much have this side pretty good. A couple sharp spots here. But I'm gonna sand around here a little bit more, and then we're gonna work on the bottom side of the handle. So far I haven't seen any cracks or anything in the handle, which is really nice. This is all smooth. Down here is a little sharp. Here we go. So like I mentioned earlier, I want to get this ready for winter. That saying, winter is right around the corner, and what I want to do is I want to get it sanded down, linseed oil of course, get a sharp edge on it, but I also want to wrap this in paracord, which I will show you in a separate video. So if you're curious how I wrap this in paracord, let me know if you want to see that video coming out very shortly. I will get that out just for you. Careful, peeps. Stay around here. Alright, it is nearly done now. I think I want to sand a little bit more here at the end. But other than that, there's no more sharp ends on it. It's looking pretty good. I don't feel like nothing. So now we're going to go to our 100 grit just to give it a little bit finer of a touch. Now that our axe is looking much better, we are going to be taking our linseed oil next. I'm going to sharpen this at the end. I want to get the linseed oil going because it could take several days for the linseed oil. So, just want to feel one more time. No sharp edges, no nothing. It's looking good. Colors are pretty much even. Alright, let's get you a bit closer. Alright, I got one rag, I got two rag, and I got some linseed oil. So perfect. We're gonna take our axe, and now I have not wiped all the dust off yet, so I'm gonna take my one rag, and I'm gonna wipe off the dust. I'm gonna hold it like this. So now I'm gonna take my clean jacket, I'm just gonna go like this. Make sure there's no dust to dust. Nope, looks good. Okay, next. Put that rag to the side. I'm gonna take this. Now I'm just using a bandana for this. You can use whatever you want, but I have an old pair of gloves because I really don't want my fingers to be all sticky and gross all day long. I'm gonna take the bandana. Now you want a lint-free towel, cloth, whatever you're gonna use. Lint-free because you don't want cloth particles all over your axe. So now I'm gonna take my linseed oil, fold the rag in half again, like this, put it on the top, tip it over, shake it a little bit, do it again, a couple spots. It's gonna look something like that. Then I'm just gonna take this, I'm just gonna rub it on there like this. Oh, nice and fancy. I like it. Let's get you a bit closer. See my linseed oil. So I am going to do a few coats on this. So far it's looking really nice, but I want to do at least 2 to 3 coats. I want to make it a little darker, but so far it's looking amazing. I'm going to put a little bit more on it. So just like that, now we're going to go put it in the garage. You don't want to leave it outside at this point, but I want to let it dry for probably 6 hours, and then I'm going to come do a second coat on it, and then I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then I'm going to probably do one more coat in the morning. Depends on what it looks like. Like I said, the more coats you do, the darker it's going to get. Alright, welcome back everybody. It has been a couple of days now. So I ended up linseed oil the first time, that is what you saw, coming back roughly 6 and 7 hours, I can't remember, but 6 and 7 hours later, I linseed oiled it over again, and then I let it dry overnight, and in the morning I did it one more time. So I ended up putting 3 coats on this one, and then I let it sit for 24 hours after that. So let me get a bit closer and show you how it turned out. As you can see, it turned out beautiful. The color is great on it. It's not too dark, not too light. I really like it. So what am I going to do next to it? We are going to get this edge sharper. Now it is sharp. It's not hair shaving sharp, but it is sharp. But as I mentioned earlier, there's a little bevel on this side. Whatever he did to it with that grinder, it did not turn out good. You have chunks out here and here, and it just doesn't look so good. So we're gonna re-sand it down. I'm gonna get my grinder out, we're gonna grind it flat, and then we're gonna hit a file to it. Now I'm not gonna go too much further than that because I want to mainly split big stuff with this. It's not gonna be hair shaving sharp. I just don't wanna get it to that point. Now if you do wanna get it hair shaving sharp, you can hit it with the file, go down to a coarser file, go down to a coarser file, and then you can also hit it with a stone if you want to. Now I have a stone, you've seen it in a couple of my videos, and I could just hit a stone with it and it will get it to that point, and then you just take a leather strop, you leather strop it out. That's what I recommend if you want to get it razor sharp. Let's get started. I'm gonna take you over to the picnic table, lay it down, let's file it down. So as you see here, I did take my grinder to it, and I still got that bevel on the other side. You see there's a big chip there, and that is pretty much it. I am just gonna leave that how it is. I'm not gonna mess with it too much more. We're just gonna hit it with a file and get it to that sharp point so it's even on both sides. Alright, so all I did is I flattened this edge down until I feel a bevel evenly across the entire bottom. So this corner really doesn't yet, but everywhere else does. So I'm gonna hit it here a little bit more, and that's how you know you've pretty much got it done on the one side. Alright, so now all I did was I flipped it over, and we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So now that that side's sharpened, I have a little tiny bevel on this side now. So I'm gonna flip it over, hit that, like 2 passes, flip it over, 2 passes, flip it over, 2 passes, flip it over, 2 passes. I'm gonna do that 10 times. So I do not have a bevel on this side anymore, and I do not have a bevel on this side. So it's pretty well even now. The only thing I have to complain about is that little tiny nick I have right here in this spot. But I am not gonna worry about it at all. So there you have it. That is how you fix up an old axe. I sanded it down, put some linseed oil on it, and then we resharpened that edge, made it beautiful. I hope you learned something. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel because I have plenty more videos like this one coming your way. So if you want to see how I wrap this in paracord, please let me know in the comments below and I will get that video out for you.